CEO of an international company.
And the university has changed the way it archives all its old information. We have the details.
Also, the Hart School is presenting a new and unique show. Find out right now on STN2. Thank you for tuning into STN Channel 2 News. I'm Ashley Kaufman.
And I'm Krista Gray.
We start today's show with breaking news as earlier today, all 17 Fairfield public schools were put on lockdown and dismissed students early after at least 3 public schools received anonymous gun and bomb threats. Highland Hills Elementary School got a call saying a man was coming down with an M16, and Roger Ludwell High School received a threat about a bomb in the school. Also, Fairfield Ward High School received a call reporting pipe bombs scattered throughout the school. Police have asked parents not to come to the school, but to instead wait at home for the students to be brought home to them. An investigation is currently underway. Also, the Rogo Distinguished Visiting Lecturer happened on Wednesday, October 21st, and featured guest speaker Tariq Farid, who is the founder and CEO of Edible Arrangements. STN had the opportunity to speak with Farid, who started the business right here in Connecticut. Edible Arrangements, which is known for its edible fruit-themed flower arrangements, was founded in East Haven, Connecticut in 1999 by Tariq Farid and opened its first store in Hamden soon after.
We have presence all over the country, but Connecticut to me is the passion, and that's really where the family is and where the friends are and where the most important part of giving back in the community.
Farid moved from Pakistan to Milford, Connecticut with his family when he was 11 years old and worked small jobs which quickly taught him the importance of customer service. At his presentation to members of the university community, Farid stressed the idea that the concept of the American dream is still alive and attainable.
I think if your reflection on something is negative, I mean, if you're going to go into a conversation, you're going to go into something and look at it from a negative point of view, it is over for you. But all around us we see successes every day. So I think from there it's your reflection on something. It requires hard work, it requires a test, it requires your commitment, it requires you giving back, it requires you learning, and along the way if somebody's willing to do that, they will achieve it.
Since it first opened, Edible Arrangements has expanded to over 1,200 stores across the globe and is continuing to grow. Farid credits his success to the help and generosity of others and gives back to multiple philanthropic organizations, including his own. Now, students in the Barney School of Business will be visiting Edible Arrangements on October 30th to learn more about the business from the inside out. For more information on how Tariq Farid achieved his American dream, visit our website at stn2.tv.
The Hart School's theater division has taken on a bold and boundary-pushing production by incorporating talents from across the University of Hartford community. The performance, called The Life and Adventures of Nicholas Nickleby, is opening on November 3rd and will stay open to the 8th. To order tickets, go to www.hartford.edu/tickets or visit the box office in Lincoln Theater. STN will be bringing you more on the performance next week.
There will be a poetry reading by Raclise Germain, who was awarded the National Endowment for the Arts and is the author of collections of poems, including Teeth and Kingdom and Amelia. The event will be followed by a question and answer session and book signing by Germain. The poetry reading is free and open to the public and will take place on October 27th at 12:15 p.m. in Mile 2, which is located in Dana Hall.
There was a new policy recently added to the University Archives which contains the history of the University of Hartford. STN went to find out more.
The University Archives and Special Collections are responsible for housing the history of the university.
This includes many different articles of history like department and office records, special faculty collections, back issues of the student newspapers and yearbooks, and many other pieces of history about the university.
It's really how the university preserves its history. So we get questions all the time from university departments, alumni relations, people who've graduated have questions about the university.
Recently, a new policy was created that states that the University Archives is no longer taking submissions in by inter-office mail or by an unscheduled delivery. If a person wants to transfer something to the archives, they have to make arrangements with Sean Park.
Yeah, anyone can submit. We do take collections from anyone associated with the university or the university's history. One of the projects I'm currently working on is getting all the descriptions online.
This should hopefully be finished before the spring semester. The site would serve as a database to find out what is in the archives. The University Archives are located in the basement of the Mortison Library next to the Writing Center. If a student wants to visit the archives, they can set up an appointment with Sean Park. So Ashley, on my way to class this morning, I thought it was rather chilly. How about you?
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely starting to feel a little bit more like fall as we head into late October. Let's toss it over to Caleb at the weather desk to see what the weather will look like this weekend and into next week. Caleb?
Well, I have to say the weather's been all over the place this week. We've had freezing mornings and warm days, but how will it be over the next week? Find out after the break.
After the break, SGA is holding its second annual dance-a-thon. We have the details.
Plus, a CETA professor's passion has led them to a valuable position. Find out what.
Also, the Philosophy Club's latest meeting covered a very important topic. Stay tuned to find out what it was about.
There's one thing you can never have sex without,
It's not something you buy.
or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad is cute.
You're looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
And now, your STN2 weather forecast.
Welcome back. I'm Caleb Alexander here with the weather. After last week's ups and downs, this week will hopefully be easier to handle. Before that, though, let's look at today's weather. I have to say, it was pretty chilly and windy out today. I noticed a lot. It was very cold. It's gotten a little warmer as the day went on, but I have to say, it's continued the last few days' trend and how cold it's been. Let's look at tomorrow's highs. So you can see here the University of Hartford tomorrow will have a high of 56, which is keeping with that gradual chillying, lowering temperatures that we've been seeing over the last few days. You can see that that's true in the area in general. New Haven with a high of 56, Riverhead with a high of 57. Even up farther north, up into New Hampshire and Vermont, you can see it's going to be roughly the mid-50s, low 50s maybe also. Now for the opposite, let's look at tomorrow's lows. The University of Hartford could be as low as 44 tomorrow, which says that we are getting into, again, that average fall weather, roughly the 50s, 40s as is typical for around this time of year. New Haven's going to be a little warmer at 47. You can see Boston will have 45 as a low, Providence all the way down to 42. Let's see Saturday's highs for, just the gradual rounding out the weekend. It's going to get a little warmer, thankfully, University of Hartford with a high of 62, hopefully, which means it will be a little nicer, which, will be a nice day for maybe an outing or something like that. The whole region's going to be roughly the mid-60s, low 60s, although all the way up in, New Hampshire and Vermont, it will be in the mid-50s still. Let's take a look at the 7-day forecast. So again, today, high of 54, low of 30. Saturday and Sunday, it's going to stay roughly in the range of 50s, 60s. As we continue on into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're going to stay around, again, the 50s and 60s. Although by Thursday, it'll be more solidly in the 50s, I think. It's got a wider range that day. So I have to say it should be getting a little more average, more, not as many crazy variations as we've had the past week. So it should be a little more, at least predictable over the next week. So that ought to be nice.
That sounds good. So hopefully we'll know we can wear a sweater. We won't be coming back from from class sweating. It shouldn't get too high.
Exactly.
Or too low, hopefully.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Caleb. Well, students accepted on this school year's alternative spring break trip will be heading to North Fort Myers, Florida from March 11th to the 20th of 2016. The student volunteers will be assisting Habitat for Humanity in constructing affordable new homes for people in the North Fort Myers community. The cost of the trip is $265 and will cover the cost of transportation, lodging, and meals. The application can be found by searching the Center of Community Service on the university's websites. Applications will be accepted up until Friday, October 23rd.
Saturday, October 24th, SGA will be holding their second annual dance-a-thon, where the proceeds will be donated to the Hole in the Wall Gang Camp. STN reporter Matthew Vega took a closer look.
The Hole in the Wall Gang Camp is a camp that provides severely ill children and their families with an escape and a child-friendly environment.
Last year, I decided to begin the event because my little brother actually suffers from sickle cell anemia. I wanted to have an event that had a purpose for me, that meant something.
The Dance-a-thon is a great way to push the university's motto of working as a community and for students to come together to help support those with a serious illness.
A lot of people donated from different departments like CAT, SGA, UCA, Office of Community Services, like Public Safety. Everyone has really been pitching in to try to make this a successful event.
Here at GSU, the Do That Too will have many activities for students, including live performances, a silent auction, and of course, a dance competition.
We're also adding more to this year's event. Last year, we didn't have henna artists or caricatures, however you call it, the people that draw you. So we're having that. We're utilizing Sussman Lounge more to put activities in there as well. So there'll also be like a photo booth and small games in Sussman Lounge too, compared to last year, which everything was taking place in North and South Cafe.
During this event, students have the ability to win various prizes such as $250 in hot cash, Beats by Dre, concert tickets to see The Weeknd, and even a trip to Paris. Matthew Vega, STN Channel 2 News.
Tickets for SGA's Do That 2 can be purchased on HawkHub for only $5. For more information, visit @hawkhub.com.
Professor Abby Ilimoka's passion for educating young people in the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics disciplines have extended across the nation via the National Science Foundation. Ilimoka's experience has earned her the position of Program Director for the Engineering Education. The NSF is a federal agency that promotes science and engineering research and education in the United States. Ilimoka says, I am, quote, excited about the opportunity to impact U.S. national policy on STEM in ways that will ensure the U.S. global preeminence, quote.
On Thursday, October 22nd, there was a meeting held by the Philosophy Club to talk about and meet lifetime civil activist Jack Gibbs. Gibbs dedicated his life to establishing dialogue with those in power to discuss the issues being ignored regarding African Americans. He did most of his activist work in Springfield, Massachusetts, and continues to make connections with the younger and older generations. Unfortunately, Gibbs was not able to attend the event on Thursday due to health issues, but they are hoping to reschedule the event for November 19th during happy hour.
On Friday, October 23rd, the university's President's College partnered with Doncaster and the Mercy community to sponsor a day-long event in Wild Auditorium. Prosthetics, Adapting and Advancing will feature the Department of Rehabilitation Sciences, Prosthetics and Orthotics program. Speakers included Assistant Professor and Program Co-Director Matthew Perante, Dr. Thomas Miller of the St. Francis Medical Group, and an aspiring Paralympian, Josh Kennison. $30 included the cost of lunch and multiple afternoon demonstrations. For more information on the event that happened, you can email pcollege@harvard.edu.
If you've ever been interested in the world of television, STN is a great way to check it out. Whether you're interested in producing, advertising, engineering, reporting, photography, directing, graphic design, or sports, we have it all. Stop by our office in Gengras Room 120G and try it out.
Now coming up after the break, the School of Communication is participating in a walk in Hartford for a good cause. Find out why.
Also, an organization on campus changed its name to better reflect its mission within the club.
And a very influential young man passed away recently. Find out who by staying tuned to 2.
And Shelter Pets make Super Pets. Your new best friend will steal your heart, bring you happiness, and enrich your life difference in the life of an animal. Adopt and bring home a shelter pet today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
You're watching STN Channel 2 News.
This year, the School of Communications has created their own team to participate in the 2015 Hartford AIDS Walk. The walk will take place on Saturday, October 24th at the MDC Reservoir in West Hartford. Participants will arrive at 9 a.m. and the walk will begin at 10. The school and its participating members hope that this effort will raise AIDS awareness on campus and beyond.
I think it's important, though, to educate specifically younger people and community members that this is still a really devastating disease, and it's out there. It's something that you can protect yourself against, and it's also something that we can work extra hard to find cures or to find medication that will alleviate some of the the bad outcomes that come from it.
To run if they choose, and awards will be given for top times and fundraising achievements. After the run, a barbecue will be held free for those who attend. For more information, contact Professor Conforo at conforo@hartford.edu.
Simon Conover, one of Connecticut's leading real estate developments and philanthropist, passed away on Tuesday, October 20th. He was 93 years old. Conover ran the Simon Conover Company, which built, managed, or invested in various commercial buildings in Connecticut, including the university's campus center, which shares his name. His funeral was held on October 22nd, and a memorial service will be held in West Hartford on a to-be-determined date.
Now, the Women's Advancement Initiative, formerly known as WellFund, is committed to installing valuable lessons and opportunities for young women for their professional endeavors. STN reporter Kalaya Powell went to find out about their name change and more.
Advancement Initiative was formerly known as WellFund. Our name just changed this past summer, and our organization is dedicated to making sure that females, both faculty, staff, and students, are provided with a numerous amount of opportunities to make sure that their careers get off to a good start or that they can develop on their careers while they're here.
Students must be accepted into the program to participate in the activities they provide. One particular is LEAD.
Our biggest program is called the LEAD program, used to be called WellCore, but it's called LEAD now, which stands for Leadership, Education, and Development. And in that program, we have 25 to 27 students in every graduating class. You actually are selected before you arrive to university through an application process.
Once in the program, you must meet twice a month with your graduating class and work on leadership skills and pragmatic skills to help launch your career. Another program that the Women Advancement Initiative provides is the Dorothy Goodwin Scholar Program, where students are awarded scholarship money to complete research projects. The Women Advancement Initiative is fairly new and currently has 103 students in the program. I'm Kalaya Powell, STN Channel 2 News.
Now, in the event that a current member drops out, other female students have the opportunity to join by completing an application process. For more information on that, visit our website at stn2.tv.
A scary situation this past week in Danbury after someone dropped off a vial marked Ebola at a company. This took place at the International Communications Business. Department of Energy and Environmental Protection officials say the person who dropped off the vial claimed it was a cure for the disease. Crews say they mistook the building for a medical facility. No one was reported injured, and the building has since been deemed safe.
Now, in North Charleston, South Carolina, authorities are investigating a sexual assault that took place earlier this week. Reports indicate that the victim bit the tongue off of the intruder and spit it on her kitchen floor before escaping and driving away to police. NCPD received a call from the suspect's mother stating that her son was lacking a tongue and required immediate medical assistance. The suspect was found stumbling around by a Waffle House before being transported to the hospital. Now, this is a very, very interesting segue to sports. Scott, your tongue, I'm sure, is ready to go, ready to report the sports. We're going to head over to you, and hopefully your tongue stays intact the whole time.
Me and my tongue are good, don't worry. Good evening, everyone. Do not adjust your TVs. You have not entered the Twilight Zone. This is the Sports Desk, and this is Scott Roberts, tongue intact. Coming up after the break, the women's soccer team squares off against the reigning, defending, undisputed America East champs, UNH. Highlights for you right after this. Don't touch that dial. And if your TV has a dial, get a new one, because STN Channel 2 Sports is next.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 88. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy. Oh, and she even talks to it. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Runner on first base. Now the big guy comes up to bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
And now, your Channel 2 Sports.
Thank you, Marshall Ross, and welcome back. Well, it's a battle for revenge for the Hartford Hawks women's team as they hosted New Hampshire on Thursday. Last time they faced off at Almar Zook, UNH defeated the Hawks in a heartbreaker for the AE Championship. Could they avenge that loss? Let's go to the highlights. Last game for the Hawks at home, and as tradition, senior night for 6 of the ladies on the Hawks roster. Congrats, girls, on a great run. And congrats to this man, John Natale, 100 wins with the University of Honorary Game Ball. Congrats, coach. See you for the next 100. Now to the action. Midway through the first half we go. Caroline Murray down low, through the box. Here comes Nikki Sloan. She takes a shot. Ooh, wide of the net. We're going to the half. No score, folks. Second half now, 6 minutes in. Julia Carr gets hauled down in the box. Now, I'm no soccer ref, but I'm pretty sure, yes, that's a penalty kick. Here comes Julia Carr, smooth as butter, in the net. It's a goal, 1-0 Hartford. She's not done yet, though. Julia, baby, you can drive my car. Scores her second PK goal, 6th on the season. It's 2-0 Hartford. The Wildcats coming back now. Long strike from midfield right there to Brooke Murphy. She's going to spring forward, and it's a goal! Nope, it's offsides. Sorry, UNH. Better luck next time. One more opportunity. Here's late in the game. This is Caroline Murray again with a corner kick. It's up. It's crossing and headed wide of the net. No good. That's the ball game, folks. Hartford with the win. Hartford with another shutout. Hartford with at least one playoff game with that clinching victory. There's your final look at the board. 2-0 Hartford. They snatched that victory back from UNH after last year's championship game. Carr was picture perfect with her 2 goals. She's creeping up on that team lead, still holding second place to teammate Aaliyah Ingram, who had herself a shot on goal in this one. Brooke Murphy, the AE's leading scorer, was active out there, but could only find the net once out of her 5 shots. Next up for the Hawks, the final America East contest on the road at UMass Lowell on Sunday. All right, got a joke for you. Knock, knock. Orange. The Hartford Hawks men's team went up to visit Syracuse this week to face the nationally ranked Syracuse Orange. And Orange, you're glad the Hawks tied this one against the 15th team in the nation? I know I am. The Hawks matching the Orange tit for tat in this contest, battling back from 2 deficits to tie the game. Blake Jones and Andre Morrison, for the goal scorers for Hartford, both from the giving leg of Mikel Song. For Blake, that's his first of the year, and Andre his second. And for the Orangey Orange, Julian Boucher notched his 6th and 7th of the year to lead his team, but Cuse not very accurate on net. 15 shots overall, only 4 hitting the goal. Do the math, kids. That's a pretty low percentage if you ask me. Hitting the links now, we've been hearing a lot about the successes of the ladies golf team this year. They traveled to little town of Bethlehem, PA to participate in the Lehigh Invitational. And don't let the board fool you. Hartford with a strong finish in this one, placing 7th out of the overall standings. Junior Meg Ryan was the top finisher for the Lady Hawks, tied for 16th place with a score of 161. Not bad at all considering the entire field, out of the entire field, only 2 people scored even or better. Brittany Ferrante also broke the top 25 as she placed 21st with a score of 162. Last event for the year for the ladies before it's time to pack up the clubs for the season. It's off to Hastings-on-Hudson, New York to play in the St. John's Invitational on Monday and Tuesday. Now, in the spirit of the theaters and in honor of a classic box office hit, this next segment will be unofficially sponsored by the movie sequel Back to the Future Part 2. Get ready, folks. This is going to get heavy because we don't need roads. It's time for another pause for the pros. As many of you know, when Marty McFly traveled back to the future, he landed in Hill Valley on the date October 21st, 2015, which was this week. Now, in the land of hoverboards and dehydrated Pizza Hut, he found out the Chicago Cubs had won the World Series. Unfortunately, Hollywood didn't get this one right. The Cubs did make it to the NLCS, but they were beaten by the New York Mets, worse than Biff Tannen running into that manure truck for the second time. David Murphy must have had 1.21 gigawatts in his system, homering in 6 straight playoff games to lead his Metropolitans to the first World Series since the Subway Series back in 2000. He might as well have told the Cubs to make like a tree and get out of here. Hey, Cubbies, maybe all you need is a DeLorean to solve all your problems. On the flip side, we have the ALCS and 2 teams no one expected to make the American League Championship, let alone the playoffs. Pfft, buttheads. I bet if they had the Great Sports Almanac, they would have known that. The Kansas City Royals and Toronto Blue Jays are battling it out to face the Mets, with KC leading 3 games to 2. Game 6 pits aces David Price and Yordano Ventura against one another. Toronto will look to send it back to the home for a decisive Game 7. I bet you Doc Brown couldn't have predicted that one. And in the world of the National Football League, 5 teams stand above the rest as they remain undefeated thus far. The Panthers are 5-0 and go up against the Philadelphia Eagles this week. And the Patriots are 5-0, but who can blame them after that fake punt play by the Colts? Hello? Anyone home? Huh? Think Indianapolis! And all 3 6-0 teams are kicking back with a nice Pepsi Perfect, enjoying their bye week. Who'd have thought Green Bay, Denver, and Cincy would all be undefeated and on the same bye week? We'll see who's undefeated next week. Now, just to make sure I didn't ruin the space-time continuum any more than I already have, I may as well end it here. And, great Scott, we're almost out of time for sports. I better get moving and send it to the Pack Attack. The hometown hockey team has shown an optimistic look towards how this season might go, as the Hartford Wolfpack are currently 3-1 on the year. Their only loss came to the St. John's Ice Caps to start the year. Since then, it's been 3 straight, with a win over the Syracuse Crunch last Sunday, 5-2 at the XL Center. The Wolfpack travel up to face the Crunch in New York, looking to continue their winning ways. There you see the scoreboard right there. Hartford Wolfpack playing the Syracuse Crunch tonight at 7. And looky at the board for our upcoming games this weekend. The Hartford Hawks volleyball team is in action against New Hampshire Saturday at 7 in the volleyball gym. Still searching for that first win of the year, so give them that extra boost they're looking for. Go out! Support your Hawks. And that is sports.
Great Scott, you're here.
Yeah, I'm here, yes.
Perfect, Christopher.
Took me a little longer, but you know what? DeLorean, back in time, all that stuff, it's all good. It's all good.
Speaking of that, it's pretty unbelievable that we have finally reached the date from Back to the Future.
I've been seeing it all week. You think about it. October 21st, which was Wednesday, was the Back to the Future day, if you will. And now Back to the Future is entirely in the past.
So how do you think we match up?
Well, you know, I've been hoping for the self-tying shoes, the flying cars. It didn't live up to the expectations. We've got some stuff. I mean, hoverboards, kinda.
I hear Michael J. Fox actually just tried on the first pair of self-tying shoes, and it's kind of like convenient that it was just the date and time of Back in the Future.
It would have been nice if I could have got a Pepsi Perfect, but they sold out in like minutes, so.
Right, all right, and once again, Caleb, we should have a pretty nice week coming up, shouldn't we?
Yeah, I mean, it's looking at least more constant. It'll get colder, but it should be all right.
All right, thank you, Caleb. Thank you, Scott. So that's all for us tonight. Have a wonderful weekend. I'm Ashley Kaufman.
And I'm Krista Gray.
We'll see you next week, same time.